So I was still on my medication during the time of working at the walk-in clinic and working at the location where I still am today. And I was still on that medication dosage that was increased in 2021 until June of 2023 during the California forest fires and during my veterinary technician externship that I was taking. I had a mental and emotional breakdown and had a very bad spike of my symptoms that was the worst that I had had in a while. But by the grace of God and thanks to my therapist, my third therapist at that time, and staying strong and using the techniques that I had been taught, I was able to come out of that. I don't want to say snap out of it because that can be very, very demeaning to mental health sufferers. I was able to recover from that relapse after a couple of days, and I went and saw my provider, and we put me on the highest dose of medication that I could have at that current dose. And I was on that dose from 2023 till June 2023 to this past January of 2025. I had a very significant increase in my symptoms, OCD symptoms, after I had flu A in January, and also I was experiencing a lot of workplace stress that was triggering me. And after talking with my doctor, made the decision that it was time to transition over to a new medication, and that is how I got to the dose of medication that I am on now. Thankfully, the transition period, again, thank the Lord, yes, it wasn't easy going off one medication and going on to another, but I did it very safely under the supervision of my doctor, and it took a bit of time, but I would say I'm in a fairly more stable mindset now than I was a few months ago. That is a summary of what my OCD journey has been like. I plan to talk in other videos about what it's like having it from a Christian perspective. I kind of want to debunk some of the misinformation there is around it. I want to talk about some of the techniques that I've learned that have helped me, and also from YouTube videos that have helped me. I would like to talk about what it's like to have it on the job, in the workplace. There's been different phases in my life for where I had to cope with having it at the time. I had to cope having it as a teenager, as a developing teenager. I had to cope having it as a freshman in college, and then I had to cope and learn to adjust having it daily in the workforce, and dealing with it on the daily during a 9-to-5 job. So where I can say where things have gotten better, a lot of the things that I struggled with as a teenager, the grotesque imagery, the struggling with thoughts in my head that I didn't want, the things that were triggering me that I just didn't want there, they don't really, it doesn't really trigger me anymore, those particular things. It doesn't mean that it's gone away entirely. I've just learned to move past those, and they just don't bother me like that anymore. But there are plenty of other things that do bother me. Something that my current therapist says is that OCD will choose what it latches onto. It latches onto, there's different OCD themes, and it will latch onto, it could be a little something that triggers you, and then it will latch onto that and just doesn't want to let go of it. But yes, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to giving so much more information.